Hi, everybody. So today's webinar is on Ecosia, and this is a great search engine that helps the environment. So you might be wondering, to start off, what is Ecosia? It is a search engine, just like Google, that uses its profits to plant trees. The Ecosia team plants trees where they are needed to benefit people, as well as both the environment and also local economies. They truly value better internet by being, firstly, completely transparent as they publish its monthly financial reports and are very clear on what they're doing. They also um, have more than CO2 neutral, which means that every search removes CO2 from the atmosphere. So they are very, very friendly towards the environment. And then they are also privacy friendly, which is amazing because this is definitely a concern that many of us hold, meaning that none of your data or searches are shared. So you might be wondering, what is a search engine, which is completely normal. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate between all of these different things. So a search engine in particular is a web-based tool that enables users to locate information on the internet. And a great analogy for this is that if you think of the internet as a library, search engines are kind of similar as they help you find what you're looking for. But rather than being in the form of a book, it's all digitalized. You may be aware of some of the other very common search engines, and this includes Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Yahoo Search, and more. And here are just some examples of what those icons look like. Origins of Ecosia. Christian Kroll founded the company in 2009 in Berlin, Germany, as a response to deforestation and the rising climate crisis, as this has been identified as a very significant problem in the world. At least 80% of the search engine's profits from ad income goes towards tree planting. And if you're interested in learning more about this specific aspect of the company, there are monthly financial reports that are available and provide full transparency of finances and where they are putting their money that they make. As of September 2020, the organization has planted close to 100 million trees across 19 different reforestation sites worldwide. So, just in the few years that they've been kind of up and running, they have made a very significant impact on the world. How does it work? It's very important to understand how the web browser actually works in order to use it. So, like most other search engines, Ecosia contains ads from external companies. So, when you search the web, when you're using this search engine, search ads generate income for the organization, and then it uses this income in order to plant trees. And it takes around 45 searches to plant one tree, though this is an approximation, but you can see how even just searching, maybe if you do 5 searches a day for 9 days, even, you can plant one tree. So your searches are really making a major impact. Now, there are some really great benefits of Ecosia. Firstly, you can find fast and relevant search results. The purpose of environmental support and climate change mitigation is something that a lot of people like about this search engine, as they feel that they can help the world just by doing a daily task. It's also very privacy friendly, as mentioned on a previous slide, as it has better search security than Google does. It's also well known and it is easy to use. It's not confusing, it's very similar to other search engines, and for the most part, it is self explanatory, or you're able to direct yourself through the use of this search engine. And it also is compatible with all devices, which is another amazing factor as you can use it across your computer, tablet, phone if you have one, um, whatever works for you. Now I will go over the steps of how to install Ecosia, and firstly, doing so on a computer. So the first step is to go to their website, either by typing in ecosia.org, or you can click on these links once you receive a copy of the presentation. You can also then move forward by pressing the Add Ecosia to button, and this will lead you to the Chrome Web Store. And then once you're there, you want to press the Add to Chrome button. Just a note that you may need to allow some permissions and or manually turn on the Ecosia extension. And you can do this by going to extensions on your browser and then toggling on Ecosia, just because sometimes settings have a preferred search engine and you will have to actually go and turn it on if you want to use it. This will then allow Ecosia to become your primary web browser. And then whenever you type something into your web browser's search bar when you're doing a search, it will direct you to the Ecosia search page and you will then be helping to plant trees. There's also the option to install it on a mobile device. For this, you can go to ecosia.co, um, which is the mobile version for the organization or for the search engine. And then you will have to fill in your area code as well as your phone number so that they can message you a link to install Ecosia, or an alternative option is to press on install and then you will be directed to your app store. There's a completely different way of doing this process, and that is going to your phone's app store. You can then search Ecosia, and then you want to install the application. Though you may be wondering how to install the application, you can also uninstall it as well if it's something that's not working for you. And if you decide that you no longer want to use it as your primary search engine, you can just easily disable it. If you're on a computer, you want to go to your browser's settings and then search and go to the search engine. Depending on what you see from there, you either will want to press disable or make default to enable a different browser. If you're on a mobile device, you can just press and hold the Ecosia app icon and then click on uninstall or the X near the icon, depending on what type of device you have. It's just the same process as as if you were to delete another application. How to use Ecosia. This search engine works the same as Google or other web browsers as well. You simply want to type what you want into the search bar and then hit the enter key, or you can click on the magnifying glass, which is located to the right of the search bar, to complete your search. And this screenshot is taken from, of course, Ecosia, and it says the search engine that plants trees, and then it shows the number of trees planted by users using this search engine, and it updates live so that you can see the exact impact every single second. Then a large list of results will appear, including web pages, images, and videos. You can further filter your search results by clicking on one of these categories, including images, news, videos, maps, as well as more. And then you will just have to click on the link that you want to access it and then open the web page or the image. Here's an example of someone searching up cyber seniors using this search engine, and these are the different results that come up. You can navigate the results by going to these different subtopics available in this menu and then clicking on whatever you're interested in. Now I will give you a bit more information on the security aspect of Ecosia. Ecosia does not create a personal profile that is based on your search history, which means that all searches are anonymized within the week. So sometimes there are applications or platforms such as Facebook or other social medias that will kind of see what you're searching and then identify what you're interested in. But this is not something that this search engine has the capability of doing. It's all very private. And to further this privacy, they do not share or sell any of your data to advertisers or use third party trackers. Your searches are encrypted to ensure that they're very secure, and you can turn off all tracking to make sure that you are completely anonymous. So now we will go over a bit of a comparison between Ecosia and Google, as Google is a very popular and well-known search engine. So Google is a massive corporation, whereas Ecosia is a much smaller nonprofit organization. This means that both Google and Ecosia are generating revenue from advertisements, but because Ecosia is a nonprofit, the revenue goes towards charitable causes, whereas corporations such as Google are using the revenue for other purposes as well and for profit. So, something that you may be wondering is how Ecosia works with maps, and it does in fact have access to both Bing Maps and Google Maps for your convenience. So it's not as though Ecosia does not offer features that are as helpful and as good as Google. It does have these very helpful maps available to you. And because the company, Google, is much larger, it does have a wider selection of results, but Ecosia still does have many in depth options as well. And Google personalizes your searching experience by tracking your clicks, search history, and location. And as I mentioned on the privacy slide, Ecosia is not doing this. So it may not seem as though the experience is as personalized. And something to note is that you can easily switch back and forth between search engines if you're finding that one of them isn't working for you. If you're doing a research project and you think that Google would be better, you can just turn it on and then you can always go back and enable or disable whichever search engine works best for you. And finally, you can always learn more about Ecosia. You can do so on their YouTube channel, which is linked on the slide, or you can simply type in Ecosia into YouTube. And they have many videos explaining how they work and also sharing some of its many reforestation projects in countries around the world. So it's as though you are doing the searches and you know that you're making an impact, but you can actually see the real impact through these YouTube videos and see that it is really um, a massive initiative that is making change in this world. So now we will be moving on to a live demonstration of the search engine, just to give you an idea of how it functions and also how to install it. So in order to access it, an option is to go to their website. So you can do so by going to ecosia.org. And once you're on the site, you can scroll down and see what they have to offer. So at the top, we can see a few different statistics. Here you can see the number of trees planted by users. You can see it's going up every second. You can get the Ecosia extension and learn more about how it's going to work and what you're going to do in order to actually get the search engine. And then you can just find more important information about where the trees are being planted and local organizations that are involved or related to Ecosia, and learn more about their approach to reforestation and learn about biodiversity. And then you can also see, again, a few more statistics, such as the number of people using the search engine, native species, countries, and active projects. And to learn more about the projects, you would just click Discover Our Projects. And then, as we mentioned in the presentation, they do have very transparent financial reports, which you can access here. by clicking on Explore Our Financial Reports. And then you can just see why a lot of people are using the search engine and learn more about what they're doing and how they're changing the world. And if you scroll back up to the top, you can also see the number of searches that you've done. You can see the number of trees that you've planted by looking into the top right hand corner. So we're currently at 0 because we have not made any searches. But as we continue using the search engine, this number would increase. And you can just use the site if you want to use Ecosia. So you can type directly into their site. So, for example, if we're interested in cyber seniors, we can search it up. And here are a few of the results that are available. So you may recognize this page from the slideshow. A screenshot was presented on one of the slides. But here you can see this would access the Cyber Seniors website if you click on it, just as it would if you were to search it up on Google or another web browser as well. And then you can also look at images or news, videos, maps, and more. So you can just navigate that by clicking on these various buttons at the top and seeing what they have to offer. And you can search something else if you're also interested in that. From here, you can still access the Ecosia homepage by clicking on the icon in the top left-hand corner, and that will take you back here. And then something else I want to mention is accessing settings. So if you go to the top right-hand corner here to the 3 lines, you'll see lots of different options. But specifically, if you go down to the bottom, you can go into settings. And here you can make some adjustments, such as where you're searching from, the language that you want to be searching in. You can turn on safe search, which will just stop any adult material from appearing when you make searches. And then other things such as auto suggestions, personalized search results, um, and notifications as well. And then always click on save once you've made changes to make sure that they actually have been made. There are a few other things available in this menu bar located at the 3 lines, such as how Ecosia works. You can learn more about them. You can click on mobile app in order to get it onto your mobile device. You can go and look at their privacy policy. You can learn about how to gift trees as well as how to shop. They also do have a blog, which you can access here. And also, you can look at careers relating to Ecosia if you're interested in becoming even more involved. And then there are also some frequently asked questions that may help you if you're having trouble using the site or if you just want to learn more about Ecosia. So, from here, there's one final thing I want to show you, and that is adding Ecosia to Chrome, as it is free, and you can just do so by clicking on this button here. And since I'm using Chrome, I will add it as an extension from the Chrome Web Store. You will then see a blue button that says Add to Chrome, and you just want to click on it. And then you may have to just allow some permissions. It tells you what it can do, and then you just want to click on Add Extensions. Extension. And then it says, Congratulations, Ecosia is your new search engine. And then you can you can just look at this site and it says, first, let's make sure that your extension stays active. So if you want to change the page, click on keep it to start using Ecosia permanently. But you can always change back to Chrome as well. And then you can access the extension and information about it just by clicking on the extension located in the extensions area, which is the puzzle piece icon. So if I click on it, I can then see Ecosia and then click on it to just see that it's there and then access it. So thank you very much for listening today. If you would like to learn this lesson with a Cyber Seniors mentor, please go to the website or call the phone number in order to register for a one on one phone or web session, whichever one works best for you. And we also do hold tech drop in sessions if you have questions that are unrelated to today's topic. And you can join from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays, and everyone is welcome